and you can clear your doubts. Session 2 is for 20 minutes, which will cover today's topic. And session 3 is for 15 minutes. Is for students practicing the day's topic. Session 4 is of 15 minutes. Again, it is the day's topic. Session 5 is for 10 minutes. You will be given time to practice the day's topic. And session 6 will be of 5 minutes to recall whatever you have learned on that day. So the entire session consists of 75 minutes. Here you can see the percentage of knowledge one can achieve through just reading or listening, but the most percentage of knowledge you can gain is by practicing what you are learning. All our courses include e-learning, and for each course you will be given study materials, and you will have one-note access to all the study materials which we will provide to you. We'll provide you the video recordings of each class so you can rewind the topics that you want to revisit, and you will have the class notes and documents. And if your course requires any software, we will also provide you the softwares. Additional bonus if you join with us is you will get a free interview session and resume preparation help and lifelong community support from us. We will also guide you to get your professional certifications in respective courses. You will receive relevant job links and LinkedIn recommendation from us. Welcome to the webinar. So the webinar will start within a few minutes. Hope all the students have joined. If any of your friends or colleagues have not joined, please ask them to join. We'll be starting the webinar within the next few minutes. So let me give a brief overview of what we'll be going through in this webinar. The first one is student introduction. which we'll be having for 10 minutes. And then we'll have the webinar content. It is for 45 minutes in which the trainer will exclusively explain all the topics of today's masterclass. Then 20 minutes of query session. You can clear all your doubts. Next we have is student's guide. Then we have APT offer. Those who are attending this session will get around 50 to 90% offer for our courses. This is exclusively only for those who are attending this webinar. Then we have one more last session for queries and feedback. You will be asked to give a feedback about this webinar, and also you can clear your doubts regarding this webinar. Okay, let's start the webinar. So before starting the webinar, let me give you a brief introduction about our trainer. Our trainer is Mr. Dilover Hussain. He is having 8 years experience in Salesforce CRM. He will take over the session now.
All right, so shall I start, Abhimati? Or you want me to wait for some time for somebody? Hello?
Yeah, I think you can start. A few more students have to join, but
Uh,
it's getting time.
we can wait for one more minute. No worries with that.
Okay, then okay.
Yep. I think we waited for 2 minutes already. So shall we start?
You can start, I think so.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Dilover Hussain, and thank you very much, Avi, for introducing me in such a way. Um, that's true. I do have 8 years, almost 8 years of experience in Salesforce technology. So we're going to work on sale. We're going to talk about Salesforce today. Uh, so I always expect all the sessions, whatever I speak, it's if you get any confusions or if you find anything, any kind of difficulty whenever when I start, feel free to stop me at any point. I will never mind, and we'll try to clarify all the queries that you have. Although we are going to have a separate session for queries, but you can stop me or you can stop me at any point of time. I would love to have an interactive session today. All right, so um, let me share my screen. So I can see in this meeting, like how many of you have heard of Salesforce and what is Salesforce? Any idea? Anyone? You have been joining this webinar today uh, just because you might have heard something about Salesforce, and that's why you have been finding some interest. Okay, let's go for learning something about this technology. So, what have you heard till today? Any point, any idea, whatever comes to your mind. Please feel free to speak up. Anyone? All right. um, Let me go for having a definition of Salesforce. Probably my definition may go for having some differences with some people, because definition of something is always uh, like if you try to understand something or any system, uh, and if you try to explain that system to some other people in your own way, definitely that explanation is going to be a little different. So how I'm going to explain it? Let's say you have a company. So you can refer this particular diagram, whatever I'm showing in my system. Let's say you have a company, and your company does have some products, and you your company will run if and only if you get a chance to sell your products to some customers. And at the same time, once your products got sold to a customer, let's say I'm your customer and you have sold your product to me, and if your product is not use and throw product, then probably you're going to provide some services to me once uh, the product gets sold. For example, let's take an example of the car dealer. I'm sure 90% of us have visited car dealer showroom. So how it works? The car dealer showroom, just consider that car dealer showroom is a company, and the cars, different models, are their products. And once you visit, that means you're a customer. So once you buy a car from one car dealer, that means you're a customer and you have purchased one particular product from that company. Now, after some days, like I think till 3 months or till 6 months, the dealer showroom goes for giving free services to you. So that is a kind of customer and vendor relationship. So Salesforce comes into a picture. So we can use, like at the very starting, Salesforce was been known for CRM. Today also people go for saying it's basically a CRM. When I talk about CRM, it's an acronym for customer relationship management. I understand people might have heard of different CRMs. There are Siebel, there are Pega, so many CRM tools are available. So Salesforce is one of them. Since we're going to talk about Salesforce today in this webinar, so I will be talking only about Salesforce. I'll be saying that yes, Salesforce is going to get used as a CRM in any of vendor and customer relationship. So in this diagram, that's what I'm trying to explain. The company does have some products, and that company does have some customers also. And using Salesforce, that relationship building up can be done. Any question till on this? I just try to explain or give a definition. Yes, someone has raised a hand. Please go ahead, sir. We cannot. Uh, mic is muted for all. Avi, can we do something with this, because mic is been muted for everyone? They are not able to speak up. They have some questions. And if you want this particular session to be interactive, then they needs to get unmuted.
Okay, let me check it. 1 minute.
Yeah.
I think they can unmute now.
Yes, I can. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, sir. You can go ahead, and if you got any questions, we will definitely ask from now on. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you. We can, if you got any questions, we definitely ask. Uh, the trainer can go ahead now. Dilawar, sir.
Dilover, are you there?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
I'm not sure who has muted me. Okay. Okay, let me proceed. So now I'm going to say Salesforce is not just a CRM. It is a CRM, but we can do something more than some more operations using Salesforce. Not only a CRM tool, right? So you might have heard of other technologies like building an application, custom application using core Java or .NET technology. So let me tell you, using Salesforce also we can develop such kind of applications, completely customized application. It is not going to have any customer vendor relationship model, or it's not going to have such kind of structure at the background. But depending upon the requirement, if the requirement is, yes, build up this particular application for me using Salesforce, yes, we can do it. And it's going to be easier. And that's why this particular technology is getting more popularity these days. Because, but at the same time, some people think that Salesforce does have less coding. That is true. I will have to admit it. If we compare Salesforce with core Java and other technologies, that is true. A bit of less coding there, but not very less. So let me go into, let me show you how you're going to use Salesforce basically. So instead of showing this all these PPTs, let me go into the Salesforce. I will show you the developer edition, which is free of cost. Let me go into it and I will show you how does it look like, right? So you can go to any browser. I've been using Google Chrome now. Then you can type login.salesforce.com. So since you're going to use it for the first time, so I already have my developer account. So even you're going to have this page once you hit this particular URL. And for the first time, you will have to, you're not a customer. Of course, we are not a customer since we are trying with the open source or the free edition, developer edition. So you'll have to click on this particular button, try for free. Click on it. So this particular process will take you to the registration process. So this registration process is similar to any of the registration, whatever we do. Like we go for registering an account with Facebook, we go for registering an account with Gmail, anywhere. It's the same thing. You're going to have first name, last name. See, these values are coming up automatically because I do have an account already. For you, if you're hitting that login.salesforce.com URL for the first time, so these values will not be getting populated automatically. You'll have to enter them one by one. So once you click on start my feed, right, then one URL link will get triggered to an email address. Your email address has to be valid one. And also if you provide a valid mobile number, it's going to be good for you for better security of your account. Then by clicking on that link, which gets triggered to your email address, so probably you can verify your account. So since I already have my account, so I'm not going to completely demonstrate the registration process in this particular session today, because it's going to be simple. Like it's the same way how we do registration in any other social media platform, any other CRM platform, any other. All right, I will come back. So I will just log in. So once you verify your account based on the link that gets sent to your email address. So once there will be a button, verify my account or verify account. Once you click on that button, then like you will be redirected to a page where Salesforce will ask you to set your password, and that password does have some guidelines. I believe in all the websites these days, wherever you go, all the web portals or applications do have this password guideline. So it's basically common. So you can follow them. So click on login. So I'm logging in. So I was saying that you need to have, if you provide a valid phone number, it's going to be good for you. See, I provided a valid phone number. It's asking me to register my mobile phone. So if I register here, then what will happen? Every time I log in, one-time password will get sent to my mobile. So it's an enhanced security. So I will just skip it for now. So I'm into Salesforce. So it does. So Salesforce does have two parts mainly, classic, lightning. So now, by the way, how many people are knowing that Salesforce is a company? There is a company called Salesforce, and that company is providing this particular product. This is their product, and we have been using this product, Salesforce CRM tool. or Salesforce tool. So this tool does have two parts, Lightning part and Classic part. So Lightning part is in trend nowadays. So most of the people are using Lightning, and even Salesforce companies recommending their developers or partners to start using Lightning version. So that's why when I click on that particular button, by default it has directed me to the Lightning page. So since you guys are, I'm considering you guys as new to Salesforce, I'll not start with Lightning, so I will go back to Classic. So this is the Classic view. And if someone says, no, I want to go to Lightning again, you just click on this particular link, switch to Lightning Experience. This is the Lightning view. So basically two parts are there, Lightning and Classic. Wherever you want, you can develop your application, or you can develop your implementation. You can implement your things. And to go back to Classic, then you just click on this particular icon, then there will be a link switch to Salesforce Classic. So this is Salesforce, and this is known as an instance, Salesforce instance, right? Any questions till now? See, my intention is, although it's a webinar, and people may go for expecting to have some PPTs and keep on explaining the things. My intention is not to do all those stuff, because unless and until you see what the thing is, then you won't be able to understand anything. So my intention is to show like how it works and how does it look like. Basically, how does it work? We're going to, like, once we start our real classes, definitely we're going to talk about it. But at least here, we need to know how does it look like and how it works, right? Okay. So I just had these two parts, registration demo. So registration demo and login demo. Login demo has been provided. Then going to my next slide. So inside Salesforce, since we are here, like we got into the Salesforce instance. So it's basically a Salesforce instance, and inside Salesforce, what are the things available? So let's go for having a look over here. So basically, Salesforce does have, as I said, it's a CRM tool first. Then I also said that it's not only a CRM tool. We can do so many things, custom apps. So likewise, we do develop customized application using the other technologies like Core Java, Spring Hibernate, or any .NET, any other platform. Similarly, using Salesforce, we can implement or develop customized applications. App Actions, it's I will explain about App Actions sometimes later. And there are two parts, Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. We are going to talk about Sales Cloud and Service Cloud because I started defining Salesforce, giving an example of sales and services, like selling cars. So these are the things exist in Salesforce mainly. It's a CRM tool, and we're going to check by using Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. We're going to check how Salesforce gets used as a CRM tool. Then we're going to check about. I have some example in my Salesforce instance how an application, customized application can get developed. and we're gonna talk about App Exchange. So let's go for talking about the Sales and Service Cloud. What are they mainly? So um, let's say you have, let's say I am a sales manager of a car dealer showroom. Now, let's say you have come to my showroom with an intention to purchase a car. So my showroom is my company, and I'm a sales manager there. I'm an employee here. So my company has directed me to use Salesforce tool, CRM tool, to manage my sales operations. So now I have been using Salesforce, I mean to say. So what happens, like once you visit a showroom, I'm just asking you, it's a question from to all of you. What happens? Like what happens to you? Like how a sales manager comes to you, and what are the things you go for talking to them, basically? They go for First they go for talking about the models, like these are the models we have, these are the different car models we have. After that, you do not go for deciding on the very first day. So once you start leaving, then what happens? The sales manager or the sales representative, he goes for noting down your contact number and email address, which is very common, I believe. Isn't it true? See, I love the session, if we can have an interactive session. Otherwise, I will not be having any idea, like whatever the things I have been talking here, whether I'm going good or I'm going in the wrong direction. Not sure.
Yeah, Thanwad ji, you're doing good, and yeah, you're going the right direction. Yep.
All right, thank you. So I believe that thing happens. Like they go for noting down your phone number and email, at least the contact information. Hello?
So could you please go a little bit fast, sir?
I need to go a little faster.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so I was talking about that example now. So I'm a sales manager. So what I'm going to do, like as I said, I'm going to have your contact information saved in my. So what I'm going to do in Salesforce provides two applications. One is sales. So all these are applications basically. Once if I click on services, so this is service application. So in here in our slide, we say that Salesforce, the CRM tool, contains two applications, Sales Cloud and Service Cloud applications. So let me go to Sales Cloud application at this time, because I'm a sales manager or sales representative. So I'll be using this particular application to do my sales operations. So you have visited my showroom. So I'm going to store your information, that is which we call as customer information, in my system. So what I'm going to do, I will click on leads. So these are basically, so it happens in the same way. Like when a customer comes to you and shows some interest in a car model and provides you the contact information, that means as a sales manager or sales representative, you got a lead to sell your product. And that's why in Salesforce, we have the same term, lead. And I'm going to create a new lead because being a sales representative, I got a lead. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add your name, like let's say something, ABC. And a bulk number of cars. Say you're from some XY company. And that's it. I'm not going to do anything. After that, perhaps your phone number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is something. Same your mobile number, email address, let's say. Right? That's it. And please, these values are coming up automatically for me. That's it. I'll click on save. That means I got a lead. I'm creating a lead in my Salesforce system, being a sales representative, and expecting that customer to revisit my showroom again. So lead has been created. The lead name is for this particular customer. He is from this company, and this is mobile number, this is email address. That's it. It shows like how many lead numbers. This is the lead number, 45 lead number for me. I have. Now let's say the customer has revisited your showroom again for a second time. And now he does have a specific model in his mind. So what comes to your mind being a sales representative or sales manager? This time you will not be stopping with a lead, because your lead needs to get converted to a customer information this time, because the customer is showing some interest and he is visiting your showroom again and again. So what do you do? There is something called lead conversion to customer information. See, I'm explaining all this part being a sales application, because we need to showcase Salesforce as a CRM tool. So there is something called convert, and I will just select this. Just yes, and I'll just convert this, and I'll just subject something, let's say test. I'll click on convert. So can you see now it's a customer account now? It's a customer account. Customer account name is XYZ, the person who has visited my showroom, and this is the contact, and XYZ is nothing but his company name. And just give me a second, I'll just close this. And this is the contact person who has visited my showroom, and he has visited on behalf of this company XYZ. And there is his email address and there is phone number. So I stored my contact information. Done. This is the process. The very first step, how we go for using Salesforce as a CRM tool. Storing customer information inside of Salesforce system. Now let's say the customer. See, I'm taking a little time in this to explain the sales application, because there is a very basic application Salesforce provides, and wherever you go, sales application is a step. So at least if you get a basic knowledge, and since we have been doing all this stuff like selling and purchasing products from showrooms and all in our daily life, so I'm just trying to give an example, real-time example, how we can use Salesforce there. At least you will be having an idea in your mind, basically, what is the use of Salesforce, right? Wow. So customer information done. Now let's say for the third day, the customer has again revisited you, and he started discussing about something more about the product, number of how many cars he is going to purchase for his company and all those stuff. So what I'm going to do, being a sales person, in Salesforce, it provides something called, I got an opportunity this time. For this customer, I got an opportunity to sell my product. So I'll click on new product. Sorry, new opportunity. And let's say opportunity name, sell car 01. And there should be some clause that, okay, within this particular date, I should be able to sell my products to this customer. So some optimize that, let's say July 9th, or stage is, see, there are different stages. So if I stage in the sense, it's a field basically. Uh, when I say that, okay, I got an opportunity this time. So if I say the customer has visited me and he started asking about the model and he hasn't talked about the pricing and all. So I would say, yes, I do have some 10% or 20% chances to sell this product to this particular customer. That means the stage of this particular opportunity is either qualification or prospecting. Or if I say the customer needs to do some more analysis on my products, then probably 20%. So you can see whenever I go for changing this stage value, it's a drop down. So if whenever I just change to value proposition, the probability keeps on getting changed. And if I select close own, that means 100%, like I have owned this particular opportunity. If I select close loss, that means although I thought that the customer would purchase my product, but finally he changed his mind and he said like he won't be purchasing any product. So I would say this opportunity has been lost, right? So as of now, I will just say prospecting, I have some 10% chances to sell this particular product. So till now, I have been creating opportunity. So so now let's say we have been discussing with the customer more, and now the customer says, okay, I need to have some um, pricing details, like how you're going to price your cars and all. So more further functionalities are there. So for that, probably being a sales rep, so I will say value proposition, or see, all these values will depend upon the requirement, what has been given to you, like how you need to implement your sales application using your Salesforce. And all these are standard values that has been given by Salesforce CRM tool. But at the same time, let's say the requirement is someone says, no, I need to develop or I need to customize the standard sales application that has been provided by Salesforce. At the time, you can always go for adding new values over here. That comes into a technical picture, right? So now let's say I would say like pricing, quoting. The customer has asked for pricing details and all, so automatically the probability will be 75. So since he's talking about pricing details, discounts and all, so there are 75 percentage probability is there to sell my cars to this customer. And so now the question is, although I have created this opportunity, I do have this opportunity for the customer called XYZ. What product? So probably, so that's why I was showing in this slide. Once we go for using Salesforce, we need to add the product details into Salesforce first in our Salesforce. So basically, Salesforce provides all these, like these are tabs mainly. So we are familiar with tab, I believe, and each of the tab does have an object called as object, Salesforce object in the background, which we call a Salesforce object. And a Salesforce object can get referred to a database table. If we say like a database table is similar to a Salesforce object, that's true. Database table does have um, columns, and Salesforce object does have fields. Database table does have rows, and Salesforce object does have records in it. So if I click on products, so basically product is nothing but a kind of database table in Salesforce for me, and I have added some products already here. So these are the products. So if I try to see all products, you can click on go, and I'll be able to see all these products or product code. And so all cars do have some specific product code and all, right? Some code value. So model number kind of thing. So we can go for storing all the details over here and just in this particular table product, and it's a standard product. All these are like once you start using Salesforce, you would be able to see all these tabs automatically coming up. Like once you go for selecting sales application, right? Any questions till now, or am I going slower again?
It's perfect, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Do
Sir,
you have any questions? Yeah,
yes, sir.
go ahead.
Your screen is bit.
Lagging?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, I do apologize for it, but I'm not sure. My network is fine. Sometimes there may be some fluctuations, but I
Yes,
hope you can at least see my screen,
yes,
although
sir.
it's lagging little.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can see, but it has been crossed. Actually.
yeah. I'm not moving anywhere now, so I'm just showing the products.
Okay, okay. Continue.
Okay, so go much deeper into sales application as of now, since we have a limited time period. So this is how sales application works. We have uh, furthermore functionalities, like we created till opportunities we created, right? After that, we go for creating codes. We go for sending email to the customer, whatever the email address we stored while creating a lead, if you remember. So we go for sending the code details to the customer to do to those email addresses. All those stuff we can do, and all those all those functionalities are a part of sales application mainly. So I just wanted to showcase how Salesforce can get used as a CRM tool. Sales application is a part of Salesforce CRM, right? Coming back to the slide. Service Cloud is again, once you let's say the product has got sold, and your company does have some kind of agreement with your customer. Okay, till this particular time period, we will be giving services, free services after the paid services. Depends upon the agreement or depends upon the business. So Service Cloud gets started with, so you just need to click on this. So once you in classic, this is a classic view. Once you um, click on this, then you'd be able to see all these applications. For you, once you log in, once you register and log in, for you, probably you'll not be having all this, because all these are customized applications that I have implemented. So, but at least you'll be able to see sales, service, marketing, app launcher, community. Those parts will be coming up. So you can click on service now, since we are going to talk about Service Cloud. See customer account and contact. So when I was creating a lead and I was converting that lead to an account and a contact. So if you remember, when I click on convert, then ABC was getting created as contact and XYZ was the account, right? So if I go to this, so this was the account XYZ and this is the contact. So there can be some scenario like, let's say this particular XYZ, it's a customer for me and it's a company. And now ABC, this person has been connecting with me for selling or for purchasing my products. But let's say this person, he has changed his job and someone new comes in. So at that time, you can always go for creating new contact for the same account. That means for the same company. So let's say so there are all basically see when you see this red symbol. So you might have seen I'm just entering values only to those fields, like wherever you see this red symbol. That means that particular field is mandatory. It's very common, I believe. So let's say ABC02. I'm saving it. Now you can again, let me go back to, so you can see this same account does have multiple contacts. So I was saying that the product is a object, Salesforce object, which can get compared with a database table. Similarly, customer account, contacts, cases, everything, all these are Salesforce objects. Basically, these are standard objects. That's why thank you. These are standard objects. So you can always compare all these objects as the database tables. So people who does have worked or um, who does have some knowledge on database, what is database, or at least forget about the Oracle database and all, so at least Excel. So if I open this Excel, so an empty Excel, let's say, so consider this book one Excel as an object. So A, B, C, D, all these columns, and all 1, 2, 3, 4, these are rows. So if I say this is one field, this is two field, third, fourth, fifth, and these are records. And this entire book one is nothing but a Salesforce object, right? So similarly, if I go to an account, I will click on account. I want to see all customer accounts. Now you see all these are records, 1, 2, 3, 4, Amazon 05, ABC, Accenture, all these records. And these are fields, account name, account site, billing state, phone type, these are fields. So don't you think the structure is a bit similar? So to understand this, see, some people may have this particular thought that, yes, I'm not from a technical background, why I'm learning this. Once you get into Salesforce, there are only two parts. Like basically in any of the Salesforce project, wherever you go, in any company, there are always two parts: functional team and technical team. Technical team basically they go for implementing and making or developing the functionalities, and the functional team basically comprises of the MBA graduates, probably not in all organizations, and they do have the administration knowledge, and they should always have this particular object structure, data structure, like all this knowledge. So what I'm trying to say that Salesforce does have two parts: administration and the development part. So if you want to be a Salesforce administrator and to be a functional resource, or if you're an MBA graduate, or if you're a business analyst, and if you have started working with a Salesforce project, then you have to be a Salesforce administrator. Then you should have all this knowledge, like what is object basically, what is field, what are records, how we can go for storing records in Salesforce object, the way I'm showing over here, right? So I understand it's like I'm not giving. I'm just trying to give you some of the things, like the way how we should try to understand Salesforce. Like, do you have any questions till now? I'll just have some water.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, so go ahead.
Yes, sir. Coming to the development procedure, what are the backend technology we should use for the designing?
Designing in the sense, see, there is no separate designing tool in Salesforce.
Okay.
Probably you can have your own designing tool if you, but background, at the background, like whatever I said, like we are going to have all this like database structure kind of things in Salesforce. So let's say, okay, let me give an example, small example, and probably that will answer your question.
Sir, another
So,
thing, the tabs are there, no, sir?
yeah,
You created or by default Salesforce they created, sir, those
uh,
tabs?
yeah, that's what I've been saying, that once you register and once you log in, so these sales, marketing, service, these applications are standard applications.
Standard
So
applications.
these are,
Okay.
yeah, these are by default. Like
By default.
Salesforce provides all these, yeah, these applications. So customer account, by the way, in your system it will be coming up as account only. So for my own, but Salesforce should always give you flexibility to rename these tabs. That's why I rename it to customer account. Earlier it was account.
Okay.
So once you log in, then you would be able to see this account, contact, cases. These are all standard tabs.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So now to answer your second question, like let's say something has been given to you, uh, kind of customized application. Let's say you are a project manager and you need to have an application for you so that you can uh, track all your projects, whatever you have been handling, being a project manager, in an agile methodology. If you have heard of agile process,
Yeah, sir. I have.
yeah. So let's say that is the requirement, and you need to implement a customized application.
Okay.
So if you remember, I was saying that Salesforce is not a CRM tool only. So in that case, so till now we are talking about how Salesforce can get used as a CRM tool, sales cloud service. But let's go for talking about custom application.
Okay.
So now all the applications will be coming up in this drop down. This
Okay.
is classic
Okay.
view we are talking about.
Okay.
So let's go to this project management. I already have that application. That's why I was talking about it.
Okay.
So can you see
Yeah, sir.
now
We are able
all
to.
these? Yeah. So these tabs are a little different now.
Oh, yes, sir.
Earlier the tabs were different and these
Yeah.
tabs
Yeah.
are different.
Yes, sir.
These are the tabs that I have created of my own,
Of
because
course.
this application, project management, it's a customized application. It doesn't have any relationship with that CRM and all. It's
Yes,
completely
sir.
separate design.
Okay.
So you can design your application uh, probably in the easiest way in Salesforce.
Okay.
I've been making this statement from my experience. Salesforce provides you full flexibility to implement your customized application. So now, let's say let's say I'm a project manager. So I have been accessing this particular application. So what I'm going to do, I will click on projects. Let me see how many projects I have in it. So I'll click on. So I've click on this particular tab. Click on go. And then all the projects should be coming up over here. I think I only have two, or not sure. Okay, let's say I need to check for this particular project, test project. Let's see how many. Oh, what happened? Any idea how to remove this?
So for this one, no need to learn any programming languages, no, sir?
Programming languages is there, but I have been talking with the perspective of a Salesforce administrator. That's why I'm saying that there are always two parts: Salesforce administration and Salesforce development.
Okay.
If you have interest in Salesforce development, then I would say um, you go for having body knowledge administration, because there's something called Apex programming, which is I would say a subset of core Java.
Core Java, sir. Okay.
Yeah, subset of core Java. Like core Java, it's an ocean. So if you compare core Java with Indian Ocean, then probably Salesforce is going to be Hussain Sagar of Hyderabad. I'm just trying to compare
Okay.
Salesforce coding. So it's very limited and it's very easy
Okay.
in compared to core Java.
If you're having a
because
little bit knowledge of Java, then we can do this.
it's going to be damn
Okay.
easy for you.
Damn. Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure how to remove this particular thing. Just for a minute, I will just stop sharing.
Okay.
Okay, so I hope you can see my screen again. So being a project manager, I'm checking for this particular project test. It's just a record, dummy record for apps is created. So I can see this particular project is from this particular account. So this is my customer client, and this particular project belongs to this particular client, and this particular project does have these many sprints. We're talking about sprints, agile methodology. So if I click on this particular, so let me go for sprint 1. So one sprint. So you can see earlier I was in project. As soon as I click on this sprint, this tab gets selected. So all these are custom objects, custom Salesforce object that I have created.
Okay.
So all these knowledges should be there. Like if you're a functional resource in a Salesforce project, or if you're an administrator, you should have complete hold of like how to design such kind of simple applications. Now, if I go to this particular sprint, then let's say this sprint does have 2 user stories, and if I click on, I'll just okay, it has open somewhere. Yeah, user story now. User story tab has got selected. Now you can see this user story does have how many requirement elements are there. So it's a tree kind of structure we have designed here, right? Project comes first, then sprint, then user story, then requirement elements. All these are customized things. Like depending upon your requirement, you can go for implementing them,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
from this slide, so this customized application, this part has been, like, I hope you might have understood, like we can do, or we can implement any kind of application, any kind of customized application using Salesforce. So
Okay.
that's why I was having this funny slide that Salesforce is not a CRM, it's a feeling.
Okay, so well.
Okay, thank you. So let's go for app actions this time. I believe all of us have been using smartphones, Android, iOS.
Okay.
So install a new app to your smartphone. What do? What is the first step? We go for clicking on Play Store. Then there is a search bar is there. Then you go for adding or typing that particular app name, perhaps WhatsApp or whatever. Then Play Store gives you the list of apps, similar apps, right? And there will be if it is free of cost, then you would be able to download and install. If it is paid, then it's different matter.
Okay.
So if I say similar kind of functionality we are going to have in Salesforce. So sometimes Salesforce company cannot go for providing each and every functionality. So likewise, your Android device or your iOS device cannot go for having, once you purchase the mobile, then you cannot go for having all the apps, all required apps in your, or let's say all kind of games in your mobile, right? You will have to purchase it, or you will have to download it separately from Play Store.
Okay.
Similarly, in Salesforce, once you get a let's say a licensed version or a developer version, you cannot go for expecting each and everything, each and every application in within Salesforce. But still, it is providing us sales application, service application, marketing. But there are multiple applications. not only Salesforce, some other companies are developing some applications, and they are tying their applications with Salesforce and making them available in Salesforce Application. So let me show you how does it work. So there is something called setup. I'll click on this. And I will go here and I will try App Actions Marketplace. This is the same thing, whatever we do in mobile device Play Store. I'll click on App Actions Marketplace. That means I'm going into the Play Store. Can I share this now? Similarly, it's giving me an option to search my whatever the required app or what required package I need to install. Let's say CPQ. I need, like, it's basically something I have been searching, right? I'm not sure why it's getting a little slower, perhaps because of my network. But yeah, can you see now? I just type CPQ and App Exchange, similar way how Play Store does in your mobile device. It has given me a list of options. Some are free, some are paid. Can you see this? So can I say it's the same process, whatever you have been having in Android device Play Store or iOS? Right? So this is nothing but App Actions, and I believe since 90% or all of us always use Play Store, so it's going to be very easy for you to understand. Any questions till now?
Yeah, Dilavar, I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we are seeing multiple apps here, right? Free and paid versions.
Correct.
For all this created by Salesforce company, or even people
No.
creating their own and selling it?
It's the same way how we get our apps available in our Play Store. So if you
Yeah,
purchase
got it. Yeah.
right, it's the same thing.
Yeah, anyone can develop and sell it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Just if you have a separate code, let's say you own a company and you're trying to, and in our mobile devices we call it as app, and here we call it as managed package. Just naming difference is there.
Sorry, come it again.
In our mobile device we call as apps, right?
Yeah.
App. But here we call as managed package. Managed package.
Managed package.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but it behaves in the same way. So if you have a company and if you have people who are pro in Salesforce, they can always go for implementing some customized application. Let's say I was talking about this project management, although it's a very basic application or basic app.
Okay.
So I can turn this application, it's a customized application, right? It doesn't have any dependency with the standard applications like sales and services.
Yeah.
So I can make it a managed package. Salesforce provides that, a managed package, and I can make it available in App Exchange Marketplace.
Like you can publish it, right?
Exactly. It's the same way. And if someone later point of time, let's say once I publish, if someone types project management, then my application or that particular app will be getting displayed over here, depending upon if it is free or paid version.
Okay, get it.
Right? Okay. All right. Going to a little more insight in Salesforce. So there are two parts I was talking about: administration and development. So here we are going to say that if I say like declarative part is completely administration. So have been giving a recommendation if you're not from technical background, if you're from business background, like business administration background, then, and if you're trying to learn Salesforce, always try to be pro with this declarative part. An expert administrator, you have to be um, an expert with all these parts, like page layout, record types, workflow, validation, all these topics, like basically. So page layout is nothing but what should I say, like whatever I was showing over here. So this is nothing but a page layout. This is nothing but a page layout, or project page layout, project object page layout, where I am displaying the detail first, project name, status, to which client this particular project belongs to, and who has created this particular record, and who has lastly modified, and what are the related sprint. This is nothing but a page layout. That means whatever we are going to show it to the user, that is nothing but page layout in Salesforce. Record types, the type of the records mainly. So um, let's say you have an object called team, then it's a Salesforce team. Then let's say depending upon the resources, we have categorized the team into two parts, functional team and technical team. So that means I will have two records in the team, one functional, one technical. So functional and technical, two types of records, right? So there is nothing but record type. So once we start going into Salesforce more, then probably we can discuss about record types in details. Workflow, approval process, all these objects, we talked about objects, like customer account, we talked about products, we talked all those objects, right? This is nothing but a custom object. Then if I go to sales application, then you'll be able to see this customer account is nothing but a standard object which provided by Salesforce. The objects, whatever are provided by Salesforce, are called a standard object. And the objects, whatever you go for creating in your Salesforce instance, they are called as custom object, right? So object field relationships. So you may go for asking a question. Basically, I was always referring, whenever I was talking about object, I was always referring to Oracle database tables. So you might have heard of joining tables in Oracle database. Not sure, like if all the people here from tech. Okay, yeah, like let me not go into that part. So probably if I click on this test, so I'm in the project, this particular object now. So if I click on and this particular test project does have all this sprint. If I click on sprint, you can see automatically it comes to sprint. That means, don't you think there are some relationship in between project and sprint? That means we have configured some relationship in between these two objects. That those things are called as like how you go for configuring relationship in between objects or among multiple objects, right? Fields are nothing but all these fields like sprint name, status, created by, last modified by, owner. All these are fields. We talked about fields already. So this part comes under the declarative, and declarative part is nothing but the administrator part. And as I said, for user interface, we always page layout, record tabs comes under user interface. Then in order to implement some business logic, then all this workflow, there are many more. You not only these three, along with workflow, validation, and approval process. We go for having lightning flow. We go for having process builder. There are many more. And objects, field, relationship. These are data model. How we go for structuring the data in Salesforce. So if I talk about being a developer, being a technical Salesforce technical person. So being a developer, you should have both the knowledge basically. So you cannot go for writing a code on one particular table or one particular database table without knowing the structure of that particular table. Isn't that correct? So you're trying to write a code, and that particular code will try to retrieve some data from one, let's say from this particular MS Access data, MS Access sheet. So first of all, you will have to have the understanding, okay, what data has been saved on the L column, what data has been saved on the J column. That means you, being a developer, you should have that particular knowledge. Then only you'll be able to write the code. So that's why it is always recommended, if you are trying to be a developer, then you should have both the knowledge, both declarative and programmative, like administration and development. And as I was talking, like someone asked me if coding is required. Definitely coding is required. So we're going to have Visual Force pages, Visual Force components, Apex triggers, Apex classes. These are nothing but coding in Salesforce. Apex classes, as I said, it's a subset of core Java. So most of the things are coming from core Java only, but it's limited, and that's why it becomes a little easier. Who does have little knowledge on or little um, idea on core Java, like data structure, OOPS concept. So then these Apex classes, Apex trigger, those things are going to be very easy. And metadata API, REST API, and also whenever you go to any company, basically some bigger companies like Z, or let's say uh, any product-based companies like telecom industries, then let me give you an information that till 2015, Salesforce was not getting that hype. It started getting hype once this bigger product-based companies, the core companies, started acquiring, like started using Salesforce instance for their business. Earlier, they were storing data in SAP system or Oracle database, which was not too easy to handle, because SAP database, SAP Oracle database, those are not so user friendly. Now, if I go to Salesforce and if I say sales, now accounts, contacts, opportunities, don't you think these names are very user friendly? Because account is a very common word. We go for having social media account, we go for having Google account. So account is a very common word. But you won't be able to having such kind of naming conventions in Oracle database, perhaps. They will be having some specific technical term for storing customer information. So in that case, those companies nowadays, they have been using all this Salesforce for their business. Now, just think for this particular scenario, let's say they have been using SAP or Oracle database from the day one, and they have all their customer information there. Now they started using Salesforce, and being a developer, you are a developer, and you kind of requirement has been given, okay, I have my customer information in this Oracle database. So you need to bring those data to your Salesforce system, and you have to automate that functionality. REST API, metadata API, bulk API, those functionalities are going to help with that. And these are little complex, but very interesting, like integrating multiple systems with Salesforce. All these things comes into development program. So these are the things I had for the explanation today. Do you have any questions for me? Avi, I think we can start for the query section as of now.
Yeah, sure.
Please feel free to ask any questions. I will never mind if the question is very silly also.
Okay, students, if you have any query, you can ask in the lower. Or if you're not comfortable in speaking up, you can just ask your query in the chat box.
Yes, sir. I'm Rushabh here. I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, sir.
So, can we store images and videos in Salesforce or just data text? Okay.
We can always store them.
It is stored in a cloud-based system, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Then it is accessed by only our Salesforce employees, or like it is for all users for the customer.
So once you go for, let's say you have been using this particular instance, and once you upload some, let's say image. So I will just show you. I have uploaded some emails you might have seen. So for this customized application, you can see I have added an image here, project management, right? So this image has been stored on cloud. So once you add any image, trust me, you being a uploader or being a developer or administrator, you can restrict each and everyone, even the Salesforce CEO or Salesforce company employee, like whoever, you can restrict them to view this particular image. No one can see that image unless and until you allow or you provide the permission.
Yes, sir. I have another one question.
Yes.
It can be used only in a browser, or we'll get some kind of an app for it, specific application.
Salesforce instance is always used in a browser. It's a cloud-based application, so it is always used in browser. But once you start working with with Salesforce project in like in multiple organizations, they go for using different tools, like particularly for development, right? Writing codes and all. You can always sync this instance with your, let's say, VS Code if you're familiar with Visual Studio Code or Eclipse or any of the IDE. So for development purpose. But for configuration stuff should always get done in the browser itself. Like for example, creation of this object, creation of fields, those stuff. But for development, writing code, yes, it is always recommended to use IDE and sync your Salesforce instance with your IDE. There are multiple ways. Yeah, even you can go for storing your code to your repository. Like you can use GitHub also. You can sync this Salesforce instance with GitHub using VS Code. There are multiple tools Maven's made. Yeah.
Yes, sir. For Salesforce development, do we require the compulsory knowledge of Java, or C programming is enough?
No, I just said, I was just saying that if you have some knowledge on Java, then it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that you need to have Java knowledge. You can always learn Apex programming. Whenever you do have knowledge on C programming, that means definitely you must be having knowledge on data structure, right?
Yeah, yes.
Stack, queue, list, linked list. Similar thing we're going to use. The good thing is, like, we do not go for using so many data structures in Apex programming. We use only 3 data structures till now: list, set, and map. That's it.
Okay. And it is more similar like HTML page creation, right?
Apex programming is similar to core Java, and I was talking about Visual Force pages, right? Which is for user interface from development point of view. Visual Force pages and Visual Force components, these are HTML kind of thing. That's true. And I haven't added that slide. So this is classic part. So whenever I go to Lightning, so there are multiple things like for better look and feel, or better user interface, you can go for using Lightning component, which is more into HTML kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, is it a
So
kind
can
of
you see
a
it's
UI and UX design, something kind of like that? Do you
yes.
need to use that also?
Do I need to use? Coming in, please.
UI and UX, user interface.
Yes, it is visual interface. Yeah, it's completely for user interface, but Salesforce itself provides the tool to get this developed. There's something called developer console. You can click on it, then you can go for adding your, you can develop it using the same tool. But at the same time, you can use VS Code and all also. The kind of drag and drop. You have to write code over here.
So for developing iOS and Android applications, how to customize that?
Pardon, what is it?
Hello.
iOS, I hope something iOS. Someone has asked me, what is Salesforce actually? So
Hello. Hello.
Okay, is there any more queries? I think it's time.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Can you just detail me the scope of this Salesforce development? Hello.
Dilavar, I have a question.
Hello.
Hello.
scope of Salesforce development. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sir. That was my question actually. Scope and what are the future opportunities of it?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Sorry, actually, there have been some fluctuations to my connectivity. Thankfully, it's happening at the end of the session. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, Dilavar, I have a
Yeah,
question.
someone. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was working for a company where in Salesforce I was handling the cases for the customers.
Okay.
So what would be a suggestion, like what kind of course I would be doing for the front end? I don't want to be a programmer or developing custom apps in Salesforce.
Yeah.
So is
So
there any other course? Yeah.
yes, definitely. I would suggest, since you're familiar with cases, you're handling how to you do have knowledge how to handle cases and all, right? So you must be
Yeah.
familiar with how status of the cases get changed from start date to end, closure of a
Yeah.
case, right? Case milestones. All those
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
you must be familiar. So I would
Yes.
recommend you to go with the administration course. It's going to be helpful for you because since you have been into that particular field already, so administration will be those stuff like creating objects, creating tables, and like um, getting into discussions with the business, getting the requirements, and designing them as an administrator. Not writing code, but as an administrator, how to design it, or creating objects, then implementing the business logics using the standard functionalities like workflow, validation rules, and all. So it's going to be
Yeah,
easy
I
for
get
you.
it. It's on the left part where you show the PPT, right?
Exactly. The
Okay.
declarative
Yeah.
part I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, we can develop Android and iOS applications also, sir, by using Salesforce.
Mm, I I don't have idea on it. I have never heard of it, like developing customized application development is always there. The same application can get so I will answer your question in this way. So whatever the Salesforce instance I was showing, same sales instance can get used in your Android device also,
Okay,
which we call a Salesforce One.
okay.
Yeah, if you go to your Play Store and type Salesforce One, then you'd be able to see that particular app. So
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
yes, yeah,
So,
go ahead, please.
so I wanted to ask if I want to pursue with Salesforce Business Analyst, so which course I should go for?
You should go for the administration, whatever I was talking to one guy just now, the declarative part. Since you're more interested to business administration, then you need to go with the administration only, the declarative part mainly.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, Android, completely Android and iOS applications. I don't think directly we can go for implementing it, but yeah, there should be some ways. Basically, I have never heard of like implementing completely Android applications because we have some other tool or Android application, right? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, sir. Understood.
Yep. Is there any other question?
So,
Hello.
what is the examination process of Salesforce?
Certification, you mean to say?
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
The
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
examination.
Yes, sir. This is Varsha here.
Okay. Yeah, Varshav, go ahead, please. Okay, before you, let me answer the previous question. Someone, Avilasa, was asking me about examination process. I hope you can hear me clearly, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so examination in the sense, we do not call as examination, we call them as certification. So there are global certifications, which, once you go into our course, AP trainings course, by the, let's say if you enroll for the administration course, probably there are multiple certifications available, global certifications. So within that course itself, we go for guiding the students or candidates how to register for certification. We also help them to prepare for those certifications or examinations and help them to clear them also. Like it's in every point, like how to get registered, then how to go for preparing, what kind of questions or what kind of topics, all those stuff we go for helping there.
Okay.
So there are multiple certifications or examinations available. So first one is the Salesforce Administrator 201, which is the very basic one. So that particular certification, once you are just to have called yourself as a certified Salesforce administrator.
Okay, so thank you.
Yes, sir. This is Vrishabh here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. For administration, do we need to directly deal with our customers or
Any other
somebody else?
questions? Yeah,
Hello.
Varshav, yeah.
Yeah, my question is like, for administration, do we need to deal with the customer by ourselves?
See, yeah. I understand. No. Not like that. I was just giving an example. Basically, what you see, like once you get into any project, like forget about Salesforce project, any project, core Java project or any project, you might have seen there are always two parts. Someone is sitting in United States or somewhere in UK or Europe, any part of Europe. They are them as functional resource, right? They go for talking to the people from the client and gathering the requirements and sending it to Indian offshore. This is since we have started working, right? You might be familiar with that, or if you have heard from your
Yeah,
friends.
yes, yes.
That is the process we have been like on-site coordinator, offshore team. So similarly in Salesforce teams, uh, yeah, Salesforce teams, there are two parts mainly, functional team and technical team. So it's not going to be, it's not mandatory. Please understand it's not mandatory. Business administrator for you. Being a developer, you are going to handle each and everything. You're going to design it. You're going to be doing the configuration. You're going to talk to the customer, get the requirements, develop everything, each and everything. So there's nothing mandatory. But if you go to any bigger industries like Deloitte, and then Cognizant, they go for following that process. They always, like for bigger clients, again, it depends upon the type of projects. For fixed suite project, they do not go for. It's different project management things are there. So um, if you're an MBA graduate, and let's say if you're an MBA graduate, you're already a very expert business administrator. But now, let's say as a business administrator, if you have started working on a Salesforce project, at that time, you should have that administration knowledge, Salesforce administration knowledge. So there's nothing like the Salesforce administrator have to interact with the client. I think we are running out of time, Abhi.
Yes, the session is already almost 15 minutes more than what we have planned already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we can wind up.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, thank you for the information.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining this session and making me to present. Feel free to provide your feedback, any kind of feedback, positive, negative. It's going to help me also to improve my skills.
Okay. Thank you, Glover, for such a wonderful session. So let's move on to next session. So students, here is a small feedback of our previous students. So this is just a sample of what students have gained from us. They have learned, and many are being placed in the top MNCs. So you have a wonderful chance to learn a new course today.
Okay, Avi,
Okay, you can leave the load if you
do
want.
I
You can
need to
leave.
be in this call? Can I drop off?
Yeah, you can leave. Let the students stay.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, students. So this is the last and final session. So let me take you quickly to the offers that you are going to get after attending this webinar. So our training model is of two types. We have a full course and a flash course. Due to COVID, and this is going to be a e-learning. The classes will be held through Skype or Zoom. So the flash course will be of 10 hours. It's like a 2-day workshop, while the full course is of 35 to 40 hours, depending upon the course. So you have seen how important Salesforce is in today's market. The market price is very high to learn Salesforce. Okay, there are many institutes that provide Salesforce course, but the market price is high. But we are slashing down the prices for you, and our price is much lesser than the market price. The full course is for 20K and flash course is for 6K. But for those students who have attended this webinar, it is going to be much lesser. So lesser than what we are already providing. It is going to be of 15K for full course and 1500 for flash course. So this is an offer which you will have for 1 week. But if you going to join within the next 60 minutes, you will get it for much lesser price. The flash course will be only for 999 rupees and full course will be for 13K. So if you're joining within the next 60 minutes, you can avail this price. Or if you're joining within 1 week, you can avail also the discount which I have shown you earlier. So hope to learn something about Salesforce through this. And after this, we will share the feedback form link. Please give your valuable feedback to us so that we'll know our pros and cons and where we have to improve ourselves and what we are providing best to you. So remember, only for those who are filling the feedback form, you will receive your e-certificates. So kindly fill the feedback form and do join the course and learn a new technology today. So you will have a better future. So along with the course, you will be having a free interview session, resume preparation, and professional certification guidance, and lifelong community support from us.
Madam, any placement assistance is there, madam?
Placement assistance. Yes, once you have completed your professional certifications, the certificate will speak for you. You
Okay.
will get placed easily once you clear the profession certifications after learning the course. Okay, so if you are going to take the flash course or the full course, the trainer will be in contact with you. So at
Okay.
any time, you can clear your queries.
Okay.
And also, we'll provide you all the recorded videos. And even this webinar session that we have gone through now, this video will be uploaded in YouTube. You can check in our YouTube channel. So see the salary of a fresher and the experienced we have given as a database here. But since there are so much of competition, the only way to increase your CTC is by upskilling yourself. So one small step can change your life. Learn something new and keep upskilling yourself. Thank you for attending this webinar. I will send the feedback form link shortly. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I will share the feedback link in the WhatsApp group that we are in, the Salesforce Masterclass WhatsApp group. So just kindly open your WhatsApp and check the link. Okay, let's sign off. Bye.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Okay, thank